Ladies and gentlemen, and also to say thank you very much for the opportunity for us to be able to be here tonight. Thank you for the invitation. Yeah, I'm the different color one to us too, yet though I am half Indian anyway. We've taken a different approach to, I hate this clock. We've taken a different approach to architectural designs and how we want to do this. So we're not going to go too much into that, but we'd rather introduce to you, or to you, our prelude, and the best that yet is still to be.
We were very conscious of the fact that we based our practice on a very diverse typology of projects. So we didn't want to do just houses, so we didn't want to do just hospitals. We wanted to touch industries all across. I love working with people from different industries. You get to know what they do, how they do it, and we get to help them do it sometimes better. This is a project that started very small, just 10,000 square feet, and grew to 2.5 lakh square feet. We are about 6 months away from completion. It's a part steel and part concrete, large spans, 20-25 meter spans, commercial space, regular commercial building, but just done a little differently. You can play the video. The round facade that you see actually evolved from wanting better setbacks, because a round facade gives us a higher average setbacks than a straight line. So as the building changed from being a regular commercial building to being a building with theatres, we converted the straight line into a circle to get the advantage of the average setbacks.
Now, if we want to talk about projects that makes a difference to us, for instance, example, how do you lift a nation? You lift the women and children. Now, this is a project that was taken on a couple of years ago by an industrialist here in India. He needed a license, a mining license, but the Minister Narendra Modi heard about this, so did the Minister of Housing and Development, Beuke, hear about it, and he said, okay, you'll get your license on one condition. Your CSR program, you build us Unconvadis. So I was then approached by Beuke and by the industrialist, I'm not going to mention name, to design something that will make a difference to the women and children, but to such an extent that the design and what we use is of utmost importance and utmost changes. So this is a design of a Women and Children Development Center built completely by a 3D Eps Panel that requires no air conditioning. It's self-sustained, own electricity by a solar panel, own water from its own borehole, and completely no air conditioning requirement at all, just a ceiling fan by the type of insulation panels that we have kind of used. This is one particular design, and out of the 3,000, we've done 17 different designs all over remote areas. In such remote areas, example, in one place in Rajasthan where I got to, it took us about a half day to drive through the desert to get this one small little town. The town is so remote, it's got no roads. Once a week, a vehicle comes for provisions. So when our vehicle came, all the children normally comes run. So when they came running and I got out the vehicle, I saw my blank skin. They ran away. Into such a remote area that we've been through this beautiful country of yours, India, to build these Unconvadis for the children in development centers. You can see the different type of designs depending on where they are, what they need, and what they particularly want in communities. That's how we can change the design each one to make it work for them.
This was a very interesting project for us. It was of a different kind. An MRO, that is, they do maintenance, repair and overhaul of aircrafts. Large aircrafts, an 80-year-old company functioning in India, one of the only private companies that does successful maintenance of aircrafts in India. They had never used an architect before. They never thought the need to use an architect before. So they came to us thinking that just help us arrange the spaces, since we don't know how to do it ourselves. This was what they were used to in the past. Workshops somewhat organized, somewhat disorganized. Spaces which are overfilled with material, tools, equipment all over the place. They didn't know that a better way was possible. As we started working with them, this is what we created from the facility they gave us to plan. They do complete maintenance of Airbus and Boeing. They have 2 large hangars at Kochi Airport.
This is a completed project, gentlemen, ladies. Just to bring a different dimension to your workspace. Often it's such a drab place to go to. Here it is designed to make the people wanting to go to work and be happy there and be proud to work there. A different approach.
We worked with them moving on all their equipment on their cranes higher up. Some of the guys from my office did the artwork over there. We also helped them implement and execute the entire project. It was done in a very short span of time. That's their timeline from 1951. But no architect for a project ever.
You can imagine them culture shock they had when Zarine came across to them.
We wrote poetry for them as well on their walls in the cafe. flip through the images very quickly. These are 50-meter span hangars. One Boeing or one Airbus 320, 321, one aircraft, which is a small private jet, and one helicopter can fit in. That's the reception. The hangars were designed, the lighting for the hangars was detailed out. The planning spaces were brought together. They were normally scattered in different parts of the building. We brought them together under one part so that people could interact and move faster when there is an urgency of job. We adorned the walls with artwork to make them proud of their project that they have completed. They've done some amazing work. They've modified doors of aircrafts. They've done complete interior works. They've replaced console panels. This is a brainstorming area. While discussing with them, they had no idea that you could create a breakout space outside your office to interact, even though it is an industry that needs a high amount of interaction. Their conference room, we were given a bare bones budget. The only budget that we had was to put paint on the walls. So we just put it a little better. Customer cabins, cafeteria, various shop floors and various stores all along similar lines. We created a standard for them, whether it was flooring materials or wall, etc. So we know that many times they will not use us for their next project, so they can just replicate what we have set for them. We worked out the signages.
From there, there's another project I came across, which was done a couple of years ago when I was in Dubai. It's the Swiss International Scientific School of Dubai, where again the 3D panel insulation panel was used. Now here, we did not do the architecture. Here I designed the exterior walling system for high insulation. Here reason again, so that we can create massive large spaces for pupils or children and students to be able to have what normally people outside have in fields playing at parks and things like this, which they cannot do because it's too hot. The systems that we employed here is created as internals. This, and you see over here, these are 3 boarding houses, the first time that a school in Dubai ever had a boarding house. With the various different structures, someone just could freely go through to it with you. The front facade of the building, of the school. Some designs with the panel has allowed us to do.
This panel that Alan is referring to, it's an EPS-based panel. It's 3-dimensionally cut. It has a wire mesh on both sides, and it is sprayed at site. So it's partially prefabricated, partially done in situ itself. The interesting thing is you use it for walls, you use it for slab, you use it for floor. You can put it anywhere in the building. It creates a full homogeneous structure. Highly earthquake-proof, very insulative, and extremely light.
She's my marketing person, so by the way. There's a quick sample that we've done, but to show you the internal space, what we managed to be able to create, as opposed to playing outside, now they can play inside. Various different spaces have been created, large vastness because of the type of system being lightweight and highly insulated. Discussion areas and your classrooms and libraries. Over to you, darling.
This is a house. It's called a house around a mango tree. It's a beautiful property with 2 large mango trees inside. One part of the house in the front is the formal area. There's a mango tree that you can see behind. And then you have the main private spaces. Once you enter, it connects you from the entrance to the private spaces, the mango tree on the left, a court and sculpture garden. All the spaces open out somewhere or the other, internally and externally. This is the inside. You're facing the private living, the staircase on the right. That's the dining. The materials planned for this, we have a laterite paste that we're mixing into a concrete to get the coloring on the walls, which can be sprayed directly onto the walls. Just exposed concrete floors and exposed ceiling. This is a project very dear to us. It is regarding a retirement community. We've created a sinusoidal roof to make the structure merge with the water. The front you have the reception, the restaurant, the public spaces, and then along two accesses you have all the rooms. Small units, 700, 800 square feet units. Some are 400 square feet. The lobby and reception. Materials used are exposed concrete, steel, wood, laterite cladding, so there's no maintenance later. It's given earthy and warm tones. The rooms have various permutations. You can combine them, separate them as required. A pool that makes you feel that you're on the water. Staircases we use as ventilation into the corridor spaces. Meditation spaces. Filler slabs which we make by making the earthen pots ourselves. The chutneys typically, we get them made to the shape that we like and set them into concrete while casting. That's the plan, just to give a glimpse. An aerial view. The lobby space. This is a project for which just the facade was designed. It's a mother and child hospital. Another architect had done the structure. The client approached us just to give them an elevation for it. But the concept was that when a child is born and he opens his eye, so what you see, the openings in the front are the opening of the eye of a child. Also, the building was given roundings and not sharp corners because his birth is always around something very warm. And motherhood too, and parenthood too.
Hopefully, darling, hopefully. Okay, we can't force people to connect. We can only plan the crossing points, remove barriers, and make the meeting places useful and attractive. And that's been basically a motto that we followed on Zarine, her designs, and me and my creations. I've worked in 26 different countries, and we've always tried to find that, to be able to attract somebody to be happy to live or work wherever that is in our designs and our structures.
Not just people, animals too. This is a guest house on a very small plot of land next to Kochi Airport. It's for Raja Ayurveda. It's their corporate guest house. That's the entrance to the building. This is the reception and the courtyard inside. To tell you very honestly, I've always seen buildings with courtyards, been inside them. This was one of the initial buildings that I have designed with the courtyard myself. And the power of the courtyard, I felt for the first time when after designing and completing it, I walked inside the building. I always thought that exterior views or the expanse of what is outside is far greater than a small courtyard. But this made me change my mind a lot. Open dining spaces, rooms on the left, all the services on the right. You don't see any access to the services, yet they are connected at the correct points. The similar filler slab ceiling with the earthenware pots. Reuse some of the traditional fenestration by modernizing it in certain forms. Designed and made the furniture, a mix of both old and new.
Ladies and gents, now here's a different, I'm going to say different approach, a different animal altogether. There's a clinical wellness center that I'm conducting in Kochi up in Calicut Way. It is a brainchild or a wish and a dream from, I think your name is Faisal Kotikolon from the Mitra Group, Mitra Hospital, Beuke Steel Group. 2 years ago, I came there for a 3-month contract just to do something small. Just to convert an existing go-down into an existing spinning mill grounds. Now, spinning mill closed down some years before. Faisal bought the property, left the go-down there, and wanted me to convert it into private residence, which we did. But that was only for a 3-month contract that I was there. I'm still there. And from a private residence or a private getaway, it's changed into what it is going to be now, a clinical wellness resort. Phase 1, we've gone and done now. Okay? Yeah. Just pause there, if you can pause. Pause, right? Pause. But anyway. I'm the consultant there, Zarine is consulting me, and I'm consulting there. When I get fed up with my architects, what's sitting in Dubai, I come to Zarine, and Zarine tells us in Dubai, no, this is how it's supposed to go, and that's how we do it. That's how we managed to do the whole lot.
But the designs come from Dubai. So they say.
So they say, but we're not going to let them know. Please. Oh, where's that? This was the old go-down that we changed into private resort. Yeah. That's what it was some 2 years ago. We have made a small little change to it. This is one of the buildings that is on there. To this. The largest swimming pool in India, the largest water fountain in India. And we managed to do all that lot right through COVID. 13 months, 36 months project in 13 months. With the type of synergy and what we try to do by using people's ability and showing them what more they can do and teaching them. We've got a very different way of working with people. We don't shout and scream. We take them and we do it ourselves. And I cannot teach somebody how to do something if I do not know it myself. That's the difference that we do in how we do our construction. This whole complex here has inclusive of rain and cooling systems. I think some of you know of rain and cooling. Everybody knows rain and heating in Europe. Here we do rain and cooling. In the floors and ceiling, which is gone and the cost of it in returns approximately 24 to 36 months. All that investment is backed by the saving on the air conditioning. Example, KEF, you all know the KEF. That is what we're going to create it in 13 months from the previous spinning mill. This is the next project that's going to come up with the second phase. It's the Rehabilitation Center. And what the interesting of that roof shape, which is giving a lot of people a lot of sleepless nights, which we again, I'm going to use the 3D panel, which is the insulated panel. One, that can create that shape. Two, that can have that span lightweight. Three, that also gives straight away the insulation that we need. This is what we will be using.
Every now and then we do a small project of adaptive reuse. These are a few of them, where we get an old building and we put in a new use to it. You can play. This is part of the Tripunithara temple complex. It's a 350-year-old wood building. It has wood floors and surki, just mud on the floors. It's a beautiful building. We've changed the orientation, created an entrance, a small lobby space. When they came to me, they said the courtyard's creating too much trouble, let's close it up with a tin roof on top. So we created a stage there instead around the trees where they can have their open-air Kathakali performances. We created a new veranda on the top so people could stand and view the performance. It has a hall on the side. Those were the projects. Now comes the utopia. The projects will be called the Prelude because we both feel that what we have done so far is minuscule to what we really want to do together. So the opera is yet to be.
And that opera, what we want to do is as a piece of resistance, if you like, is a children's museum in Kochi. First ever, to the design of the first ever that India has seen. We've had lots of response, lots of business people as interested to help us, to sponsor this, to create and to guide us through all this lot. We had taken a lot of guidance from international children museums. So this is what we're going to do. You know, the Prelude. A good, decent, big children's museum, which we're going to ask all of you to come and help us. All of you to be part of this. Because I think it needs something that is amazing for all of us to put together for our next generation, our children.
The background behind this is the school of thought that you work, you experiment, and then you learn. If we can give people an arena to do that, I think we would have better students, better people, better professionals. And it is something we would enjoy. If you ever enter a children's museum, you're awestruck by the energy in it. It's just something amazing. What do we do over here in Kochi? The avenues are only going to malls, or you have to go to the outskirts. But in the city, there are very few avenues for recreation in a constructive manner. So we thought an idea of a children's museum would be something very, very nice for the city. We are in process, don't know if it's a utopia or a reality to be, of gathering everything together to make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
iDAC, everyone here, thank you very much. And thank you everyone that helps us always.
Thank you so much. We are now open to questions from the audience. Please. There are some beautiful projects that were shown over here. Any question that any one of you have, you're welcome.
Who wants to be part of the Children's Museum?
Who wants to fund the Children's Museum?
Oh, no, nobody's going to be here for that. Please, ladies and gentlemen, who wants to be part of this Jordan Museum? We need all of you. We need help. Anybody?
Yes.
Thank you very much. We can see you afterwards. Thank you very much.
One doubt, this EPS panel, the skit is GA or you have created with some other texture for the EPS panel?
The EPS panel, just to describe the EPS panel, it's a normal condition, it's a 3 meter long by 1.2 meter by approximately 100 to 120, various different thickness type of EPS panel at 25 kilogram density. 25 never was reached, about 18, 19 kilogram density. Steel mesh on both sides, a bit of space in between with the interconnected through the panel. So these are placed in a wall, as you saw before, joined together and then sprayed with a low pressure concrete on both sides with 25 MPa concrete. So you create for yourself a structural element, insulated element, one that you can use, as I said, for floors, walls, anything you like. There are a lot of projects that was done with panel. Unfortunately, this little thing doesn't show us, allows us to just show, but the shapes that can be created by this panel, it's unlimited. So there's a question you answer your question?
Thank you.
Okay.
Any other question? Thank you.
Thank you.
I invite on stage Mr. Anil Joseph, MD, Geostructures, and Mr. Kochithoman Matthew for felicitating architect Zarine Jamshedji and engineer Cornelis Beuke. Please.